Alright guys, welcome back to another 5-9 gaming video. Today we're going to analyse the Bowser's Fury trailer and give our thoughts with you. It's going to be a bit of a preview of what we think to expect from the game and stuff like that. Again, I'm Hazink, I'm joined by Clerk. Clerk, are you excited for Bowser's Fury?
I'm extremely excited, man. The trailer, from what I've seen so far, really shook up what I expected this game to be.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited.
Oh yeah. Let's just let everyone familiarise themselves with the trailer. We're going to play the trailer now for you guys and then we'll be right back to talk about it straight after the trailer. Alright Clerk, so this seems like a 3D game more like Odyssey than it does 3D World. Does that excite you?
It really does. Because I've said it before here. Odyssey's my favorite Mario game. So the closer we get to replicating that, the more excited I get. So I'm really excited for it. It looks like it's just using the 3D World assets and kind of letting the camera free roam.
Yeah.
And I think that's exciting. I think there's more you can do when you have a kind of open world level like that. What about you?
Well, I mean, I'm exactly the same. When I first looked at the trailer, the first thing I thought to myself was, this doesn't really look like 3D World. It looks like it could have potentially been DLC for Odyssey, you know, and they've just decided,
oh yeah,
let's just stick it onto this because we need something to sell the game. Because they've waited a bit of time. The thing about these ports, and I'm still going to call it a port, or an enhanced port. The thing about these enhanced ports from the Wii U, I know people were starting to get burnt out on them a little bit, but it's been a bit of time. They've added something to it that seems to add good value, if you ask me, and it genuinely does seem like a completely different game, so I'm down for
agree.
that.
And I know plenty of people who missed out on a lot of Wii U titles that are getting to try them for the first time on the Switch. Like Pikmin 3 is a game I didn't get to touch, but I got to play it once it got moved to Switch, you know? And I think it's okay for these games to be ported. I think it just gives more people a chance to enjoy these games that they might have missed out on. So I'm super excited to see this coming, especially with such a big extra bonus with it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've seen the Super Saiyan Cat Mario versus the Kaiju Bowser. I'm here for that. I know you're probably here for that, and we'll discuss it in a minute, but I really wish, with Kong versus Godzilla coming out, I wish they had added Donkey Kong to this, just so that you could have giant Donkey Kong versus Kaiju Bowser, and you could just basically recreate Kong versus Godzilla. I mean, that would have been...
It would be extremely appropriate for the time. Yeah. I mean, that would be great too, to see, you know, this Kaiju world start to build in the Mario universe. I mean, who really knows what this opens up for the Mario verse in general.
Yeah.
If this is something we'll see stay, Super Saiyan Cat Mario.
Oh yeah.
It's just so weird, but I'm so down for it. And Bowser just looks so badass.
Oh yeah.
It's just
the thing I've noticed about this one as well is it seems like in the past Bowser's been a bit of a mischief maker, I want to say, more than a baddie. In this one it seems like he just wants to kill Mario. I mean, that's what it seems like to me, which is different from previous iterations. Bowser's kind of been, yeah, I'm going to steal your bird and I'm going to run away and we'll get married and you can chase me, hey. But in this one, it's like, I'm going to bite off your head and I'm going to chew it up and swallow it, Mario. And
so
what are you going to do about
a little prediction making here. Do you think this is just Bowser's true nature in some form, or do you think he's like been overtaken by, something possessing him?
What do you think it is? I think he's been corrupted somehow. It's like,
I think so,
I'm going to say it's like corrupted Bowser. That's what it seems like to me, because Nintendo at its core, especially with its Mario characters, doesn't really want to get that dark. Even if you watch the Smash trailer where Sephiroth impaled Mario, they kind of made it seem like they were going to be dark, and then it was like a wee wink to the camera as if to say, as if we would do that to Mario, So there's a line that Nintendo don't ever seem to want to cross with these characters. So it's going to be interesting to see what it is that's basically done this to Bowser, because I don't think this is Bowser's true nature. No,
I don't think so either, especially with Bowser Jr. at your side. It's more like a, hey, help me save my dad type of situation.
Yep.
So I'm interested.
Speaking of that, as you can see in my little picture here, Mario with Bowser Jr. So speaking of, obviously multiplayer was a big focus of 3D World, especially on the Wii U. Maybe not so much on the 3DS when it came out, but it certainly was on the Wii U. Do you think this one's going to have any multiplayer?
For Bowser's Fury, I really don't think so. Based on what we've seen, I've seen some people say maybe you can have someone play as Bowser Jr., but I think this is really just going to be condensed into a single player experience only, and I can't imagine it's going to be that long. But I don't see there being much multiplayer function here. And I did notice in the trailer, it looks like everybody's been turned into actual cats. Speaking of like Luigi, Peach, Toad, they're all actual cats. So maybe you're having to save them at the same time as you're trying to help free Bowser from whatever's got him messed up. So I'm assuming there's no multiplayer when I go into this.
You did kind of mention the word length there. I want to touch on that. I'm not going to say I'm concerned, but I am a little bit curious to what the length of this game is going to be, because if it was a super long single player experience, I think it would be a standalone title myself, So that the fact that it's being bundled with 3D World makes me wonder how big of a game this is going to be. What are you expecting? Are you expecting maybe a couple of hour experience? Are you expecting something a bit deeper? What are you thinking, Clark?
I'm hoping if it plays out how I hope, probably 5 hours is what I'm hoping to get out of it. I assume there will be stuff to collect on the way, but you can 100% it like you can with normal kind of Mario games, where there's a lot of secret stuff to find, and I love to do that with every Mario game. So I'll be spending as much time in Bowser's Fury as I can to collect everything. So I hope to get at least 5 hours from it.
Do you think you're going to miss Cappy?
Am I going to miss Cappy?
Do you think so? Because obviously it's coming out and it looks as though it's very much borrowing from Odyssey. Do you think you might miss that element of Odyssey, or do you think the things like Cat Mario, etc. is going to be fine? You're just going to be like, nah, it's fine. We'll just go with what
I think it'll be okay, because as long as Nintendo's good at giving you mobility options in every game, to kind of spice it up. And of course in 3D World you have those too. There's a bunch of different things you can do.
Yep.
And it looks like all the good assets from 3D World are also in there, and they kind of tweak them a little bit to make it more open world. But I think while I'll be missing Cappy, I'll be perfectly fine in the world they've built for us so far.
Yeah. So Bowser's Fury comes out on February the 12th, which is actually very, very, very soon. It's actually just over a week after my birthday, so I know the answer to this question before I ask you. Is this extra content making it worth picking up for you at this point?
For me individually, I'd say yes. 3D World is already a pretty big game, especially if you try and 100% and get everything. I think this Bowser's Fury alone makes this a much better deal, because it feels like it's not just a straight over port like some of these other ones have been. It feels like you're getting something brand new instead of just a little touch up on the previous game. So I think it definitely is going to entice a lot of people, make it worth picking up. And you can kind of justify it for a lot of reasons. Someone who might just want to play Bowser's Fury can also have 3D World that they can share with their friends, their kids, you know, something like that. So I think it's a good pickup.
Well, I mean, I totally agree. If any of you guys watch the top 10 Mario list that will link up top somewhere that you can go and take a look at, I did mention that Odyssey was one of the first Mario games that my child completed himself, so I've got to get this game for him anyway, and the bonus is I get to play it as well, so you know, I can use the whole I've got to buy it for the kid excuse, and then I can play it myself. So I'll certainly be picking this up day one. Do you think you'll be picking it up day one, or are you going to?
Oh, for sure. I'm so excited at this point. The trailer's got me pulled in. I'll be running through Bowser's Fury as soon as I can.
The thing about Nintendo, just to touch on this, I'm probably going off on a bit of a tangent here, but unlike Sony, Xbox, etc., where you think, oh, I won't pick it up day one, I'll wait for it to go down in price, that ain't happening with Nintendo. So just get it day one, do you know what I mean? Because you're missing
There's really
out.
no point in waiting.
Yeah, unlike, I mean, you can have that added value with other console makers, but Nintendo just don't seem to do that, do they? I mean, Zelda's still full price. Come on, Nintendo, I want a price drop. I want to buy Breath of the Wild.
Odyssey hasn't gone below $40. You know, it's because they know people still love those games and will buy them. Yep, so there's no real reason to.
That's true.
But that's enough from us. To you watching, what will you be doing? Will you be picking it up day one? Are you excited? Let us know in the comments below. Also, make sure to subscribe on here and follow us on social media to stay up to date with what's going on at 5-9 and what's going up to date, or what's going on with us. You know, I'm sure we'll be talking about Bowser's Fury on Twitter as soon as we get our hands on it. So communicate with us on there. I'm Kleber. That was Hazink. Anything to say before we head out?
No, guys. Make sure you buy this game because it looks hype.
Exactly. We thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video. Till then, bye.